Age 10 plus, 1 star. The title has too much violence, too much swearing. Food allergy joke and murder make for a miss. Puss's severe food allergy to shellfish is made light of. I don't find any comedic value in symptoms of anaphylaxis and severe facial swelling, and it causes him to lose one of his cat lives. This treatment of food allergies in films needs to stop, especially in films for children. The main villain is a psychopath who has no regard for human life. Human beings are obviously killed, one reduced to a skeleton, another eaten alive, jazaque, or whatever, by a carnivorous flower, etc., or allowed to die even after begging for help. A lot of bleeped swear words added for comedic value. It didn't work. This is a different video for me, but was going to come eventually because I have, over the years, been following this movie review website for a long time, looking at a lot of their reviews and laughing at how inexcusably bad they are. May I just say, this video is very much going to be me ranting about this website, but still giving some good arguments over why it's so bad. So if you're prepared for some stupid things, then strap on in, and let's get into it. Just like how you should get in a subscription for me. By pressing the subscribe button, maybe even like or comment something that gives tips or adds on to something I said in this video. Moving on, this video will be talking about the online review website called Common Sense Media. Now, some people might have never heard of this website before, but for people that have, you probably understand what I'm about to say about this website. For people that don't know what this website is, let me explain it for you. Common Sense Media is a media reviewing website that have critics of movies review and rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. Not every movie reviewed on their website is made by the same person, but multiple different people. This website is mainly known for being a website that gives their own interpretation on a rating of movies, basically how the MPAA does things, but makes them a lot more specific. Let's take, for example, one of their best reviews on their platform to help you understand what they're doing. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a movie that needs no introduction whatsoever. So what they do is they review the movie with the 1 to 5 stars. They have a bunch of information about the movie and what it's about, and to top it all off, they have the age rating and their explanation of why into multiple categories that you can check out. This, I would like to emphasize, is one of the only reviews I would agree with, as some points of Into the Spider-Verse are a little intense and may take younger viewers off guard. But let's move on. Now, the concept of this website is something that it could be very helpful and useful. The problem is how much power these critics have and how easily this system can be abused. Let's take an example of one of the most popular movies of 2023, Oppenheimer. Again, another movie that doesn't need an introduction. So let's look at the review. Wait, what? Hold up, you're telling me one of, if not Christopher Nolan's best movies that dominated all of the award ceremonies it went to, has an absolutely horrifying but real message about war and guilt and unleashing horrible things into the world willy-nilly with absolute fantastic practical effects and a very compelling story heightened by the actors and actresses giving it every single ounce of emotion they can, deserves 2 out of 5 stars? That's not even the worst part. What? How does Madam Web outweigh Oppenheimer for more stars? And don't even get me started on this. Now, the rating of the movie being 15 is something that seems understandable, as there is indeed some inappropriate stuff in this movie, but the way it's reviewed is something of a whole different level. Most importantly, the positive messaging section. As Oppenheimer has the simple, you may have the knowledge and skill to create something dangerously powerful, but should you? And then Madam Web has a full-on analysis where it literally says the thing that's not even originated from this movie. Like, oh my god. What I'm trying to get at here is the bias of these critics on the website making awful claims about powerful movies, yet inconsistently reviewing another much worse movie on the same scale or even higher than one. For another little example, comparing Puss in Boots to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and giving The Last Wish a worse review is something that personally bothers me. And if I want to go see other movies this person had reviewed, I can, and then I'll see Wait. No way! You're telling me that the god-awful Doom Syndicate movie is as good as The Last Wish? The movie with one of the scariest antagonists and a powerful message about death and to not take life for granted is on the same scale of movie that gave Shifrilus Reductions a heart attack over the dehydration gun with animation that looks straight out of a knockoff studio, or Boss Baby Back in Business. Also, I literally can't with these reviews. I cannot, I won't. You know, I realized this on my script. When I wrote it, I actually said to myself, why did you make me review this? And chanted, why, I hate you. Like, they also have an educational value for their reviews, as let's look at Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where it says that there is very little of an educational value, and that how they neglect talking about how this movie tackles the concept of death, but focuses on how people might pick up some Spanish along the way. And respectfully, they do talk about Perito's messaging along the way, which is a good thing, and they at least acknowledge that. But still, the fact they're practically saying that there is not an educational value is strange to me. I want to look at another movie that shows another huge problem with this website. This makes sense, this also makes sense, so does this, and so does this. But if we go up to the original Saw film that started it all, this, from my knowledge, I know does not make sense. I have not seen the original Saw film. I haven't seen any of the Saw films. But from what I know about this movie is that it is the tamest movie in the franchise, as a lot of the gory stuff is actually off-screen. And I'm actually using the IMDb Parents Guide to fact-check this, as it says that most of these horrifying things happening are off-screen. They're not on-screen, they're off-screen. So I don't know what Common Sense Media is talking about, but obviously they are implied to have happened. And I'm not saying that this movie doesn't deserve an R rating, but for it to be on the same lines almost as some of the other movies in this franchise does not make sense. So this leads me into the last part of this video, which is about their parents' review. I purposely kept this part away from the rest of the video because this part deserves its own section, as if you go into the parents' reviews, you can actually find good reviews that educate you on what to expect with a movie, as this one from Saw did, better at helping someone understand than the actual critics. But with a system like this, we also have a kids review that surprisingly includes really well thought out reviews that are still better than the actual people getting paid to do this. But what happens when people who don't understand what a movie is about and are angry with nothing better to do when they have a platform like this? They also abuse it. Age 18 plus, 1 star. This title has too much violence, too much sex, too much swearing, too much drinking, / drugs, / smoking. Don't take your kid, parentheses, S, to see this filth. I refuse to watch this filth. I did my research on this movie. I will never let this filth get into this place either. My husband wanted to watch this movie, but I told him it's not going to be in this place at all. This movie is not for kids at all. Sex sells. That's why it did so well with awards, unfortunately. If you want to keep your kids, parentheses S, eyes pure, don't take them to see it. If you don't care, well, that's on you. I would just like to say this video is not supposed to target anyone in this video, but is supposed only to give an educational value to people that this website is worse than the Oppenheimer rating, which is why I give it 1 and 1 star only out of 5 for not being a website that gives accurate or helpful information about movies, but only is there to slander movies and give biased opinions. Now I understand what people from my Godzilla comparison looked at me like. I hope this video brought you some information, and hopefully it was maybe kind of funny watching me lose my mind over this website. Personally, I feel miserable after reading all of this and never want to talk about this website again. But if you want me to cover anything else like this or even more about Common Sense Media, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm Enchanted. Bye. Puss. Oh my god. Puss has severe food allergy to oh my god. Puss has severe food allergy to shellfish. Blah. Puss's severe food allergy to shellfish is made light of. I don't find any comedic value in symptoms of anaphylaxis. Oh my god. Anaphylaxis. Puss's severe food allergy is... Puss's severe food allergy to shellfish. Sis?